with Ministers of Agriculture, Finance and Irrigation and Water Resources. During the meeting, Madbouli stressed the importance of applying the new irrigation system and implementing the national project of upgrading canals and enlarging water resources. The Premier asserted the state's keenness on providing the necessary mechanisms for using modern ways of irrigation. The meeting also tackled the progress report of a number of ongoing projects affiliated to the Ministries of Agriculture and Irrigation across the nation. Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Naveen Gema, said that the new administrative capital will host the 21st COMESA Summit on Tuesday. The event will be attended by representatives from African countries which are members of the COMESA, either actually or through video conference. Gema was speaking during a joint press conference with COMESA Secretary General Chilchi Kapwipi over preparations for the summit. Gema said the summit, which is also attended by heads of African economic bodies, is being held under the title Boosting the Ability of Steadfastness through Strategic Digital Economic Integration. She said the aim is to encourage the utilization of digital economic means to facilitate doing business inside COMESA and boosting the abilities of the 21 member states to withstand the coronavirus pandemic's economic repercussions. She said the event will witness handing the chairmanship of COMESA to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi from the President of Madagascar and the launch of the middle-term COMESA Strategy 2021-2025. The Ministry of Trade and Commerce held a joint press conference in Cairo on Sunday with the COMESA Secretary General over the upcoming launch of the 21st summit of the COMESA in Cairo on Tuesday, 23rd of November. Our colleague Omnia Al-Hamzawi conducted the following interview with the Secretary General of COMESA.
Secretary General of the COMESA, Shileshi Kapwepwe. You've highlighted this morning during the press conference the role of Egypt, and you not only the role of Egypt but organizing Egypt for this 21st summit of the COMESA. Yes, we need a briefing about this organization and how Madagascar will be giving this Egypt this siege of the COMESA.
Yes, COMESA has 21 member states, and the current chair of COMESA is Madagascar. But at this summit on the 23rd, they'll be handing over to Egypt, to President Sisi, who will take over as the chair of the authority of COMESA. The 21 member states cooperate in various different aspects: trade facilitation, infrastructure development in a harmonized way. We look at investment attraction, we look at women and women empowerment, and we also look at peace and security.
During this 21st summit of the COMESA, the theme was building resilience for the digital regional integration. How can we take these steps for the states of the COMESA this year, and how will it be implemented?
Yes, building resilience, of course, and strategic integration. One will be basing our trade on digitalization. So we want to digitalize even the way we do trade. We can perform on platforms, so creating of platforms where we can trade on platforms, payment system to support that. Then we also look at legislation which will have to support a harmonized trading system which is becoming digital. This will make us more resilient. Also, we're looking at the health issues as well. How can we strengthen our health infrastructure and response, coordinated response when we have issues like pandemics and other shocks.
And finally, Your Excellency, you shed the light as well about the role of Egypt and the diplomatic efforts that has been deployed for further coordination and cooperation with the private sector and all other blocks, economic blocks, regional economic blocks. How can you today perceive this role?
Yes, Egypt will be heading COMESA. And the other blocks, including SADC and EAC, have a tripartite arrangement. So Egypt will be very much involved in that as head of COMESA, so that we have a coordinated effort with the three blocks coming together, for example, and looking at issues under industrialization, under infrastructure development, and other market access. So those are the key issues that we look at under that arrangement, and then Egypt will be very much involved because they will be leading one of those members of that bloc.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Egypt welcomed on Sunday the agreement reached between Sudan's top general Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Sudanese Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry praised the Sudanese party's efforts to reach a settlement over the transitional period in a way that serves Sudan's interests and opens horizons for development and prosperity for the Sudanese people. Earlier, Sudan's military and civilian leaders reached the deal to reinstate Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok, who was deposed last month. According to the deal signed Sunday, the military will also release government officials and politicians arrested since October 25th. The country's top general, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, said in a televised statement that Hamdok will lead an independent technocratic cabinet until elections can be held. Sudanese have been taking to the streets in masses since the military takeover, which upended the country's fragile transition to democracy. Hamdok has been held under house arrest since then. The operation room in the health ministry said no accidents were reported following bad weather conditions witnessed in a number of Egypt's provinces recently. Meanwhile, the meteorological authorities said the coming hours will witness a decline in unstable weather conditions, reporting expected moderate rainfall on the north coast. Light rain is expected on Greater Cairo and northern Upper Egypt. Earlier, the Ministry of Interior said it's continuing with efforts to contain repercussions of bad weather, which hit a number of provinces on Saturday. The ministry spread traffic rescue vehicles in several governorates to help remove accumulated waters on roads. Civil defense vehicles and police forces rushed to help drivers stuck in the waters get cars out and ease traffic movement. The Ministry of Health announced that around 6,500 citizens have so far been inoculated against COVID-19 at vaccination centers inside the Sadat and Al-Shuhada underground stations and at the train station in Ramses. It said vaccinations are part of the Ma'an Natma'in, or Together We Are Reassured, Register Now campaign. It said the campaign is within the framework of the ministry's plan to expand the vaccination drive across the country. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of protesters, many from far-right groups, marched through Vienna on Saturday after the Austrian government announced a nationwide lockdown